Okay, we are live now. Now it's live, except I'm not on Twitch yet, but that's fine. Okay. I know how to do this. I've done this before. You got this, Mark. Yeah.
Good evening. All right. What year is it? Oh, good. It's 2000. Phantom Menace on VHS. Jar Jar Binks, y'all. Phone simulation, phone simulation, phone simulation. 2000. Yeah. Sing it with me. Let me hear you. Phone simulation, phone simulation, phone simulation. 2000, yeah. Oh, all right. Not bad. Give it up for your host, Mark Hornback, the Well Hungarian. Well, all right. Phone simulation, phone simulation, phone simulation. 2000, yeah. I'm gonna see you at the fun. What? Wash your jeans, bring your notebook, bring your jokes. We got a microphone at the phone simulation, phone simulation, phone simulation. 2000. Thank you so much. You're too kind. Is this thing off? Oh, you're laughing at me. Still counts. Phone simulation, yeah. Phone simulation 2000. I can't hear you. I can't hear you in the back.
Yeah, everybody, welcome to Fun Simulation 2000. This is our resident dancer to my side, Ian Ryland Smith. Thank you. You will
I can't hear you.
Am I muted?
No, you're not.
Oh, he's messing with me. He's off the spotlight. You'll see him later making more jokes like that, messing with the host. That's kind of his thing. I can't believe we've been doing this for 22 years. It started in 1999. 2000 was in the future. We thought it was going to all implode by then, and we've just been living in borrowed time since. That's all we've been doing. Thank you. That theme song is from Kevin McComb, bartender and musician and fan of the mic, big fan of the mic. He wrote that for us, so please go like it on Facebook. I think he might get a penny if we all listen to it. I'm not exactly sure how it works. I don't know how Facebook streaming works. Actually, it would go to my account, so never mind, everybody. We're getting this off on a very slow start. I'm thinking way too much. This is gonna be fun. We got a lot of comics. Some new ones, some old ones, some fans of the room. I'll go to gallery view. You can see everybody. Oh my God, look at all these people. And look at all the people not on camera too. That's who we're performing to. That's who we see when we perform to, is not people on camera. So if you're wondering what that looks like at home to the 2 people watching on the stream, let me get the numbers right now. Actually, 7 people watching. That's amazing. Okay, so we're gonna get this started. Everybody gets 4 minutes. Stick around to the end, watching at home or here. You get to go up one more time for the fastest minute in comedy, which was invented in 1996. Before we even thought of the open mic, we didn't know how to use the fastest minute in comedy. This week was pretty crazy. This week was wild, right? And I thought about, like, there was a time during the Black Lives Matters movement, during some civil unrest, that I decided not to do the mic, and I was thinking, this week, should I still do the mic? And then I thought, hell yeah, we're still gonna do it. Like Abe Lincoln got killed at a play 6 days after the Civil War ended. I just want to point that out. Like, you don't think they were rehearsing during the Civil War? They didn't throw that together in 6 days. So like, it's on us to go out there. So yeah, a bunch of beta males, soy boys took over the Capitol building because they were friends with the white cops or were white cops themselves. I'm just going to put that out there. That's how they were able to do it. They got into the house and they didn't pass any laws when they were there. They had the perfect opportunity to marry their cousin in every state, and I didn't check if they wrote anything on paper and signed it or hit the gavel. I don't know, but I want to see what weird laws came out of that. And one of the things that was very strange that I noticed that there was a lot of people smoking pot there. I want to know what strain you smoke that you stormed the Capitol, because I'm going to replace my coffee with that tomorrow morning. All right, guys, we're going to get this rolling. We got our first comic coming up. Fan of the room from Portland, Patty Mansbach.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh boy, new year, new me. That's what I went snowboarding yesterday. Oh, I don't know why. It was terrible. I'm very sore. I've been sitting down all day. So yeah, new year. Let's go back to the same garbage me. I don't know. I've been trying to exercise a lot. That's just because I'm better than you. Except I don't have any free weights, so I just use a box of Oreos, and I'm just like this, with my box of Oreos. Yeah, I thought I was getting stronger because it felt lighter, and then I realized that I ate half the box, and I was like, oh, that's why. I remember last year, my New Year's resolution, I was gonna ask this guy I had a crush on. I was gonna ask him out on a date, and it took a couple months, but I finally mustered up the courage. And then he said no, and I was real heartbroken. And then everything with COVID shut down. Oh yes, I got my revenge. It felt so good. He texted me the other day. He's like, "I'm sad and depressed." I'm like, "Good, feels right." I went a little far with the pandemic. I do apologize. It was a little bit too much revenge is such a sweet, sweet dish. Well, this happened to me last week. I was waiting for the bus to go into work because this stand-up thing, this is how I pay my bills, but office jobs, oh my God, those are my real passion. When they ask, they asked people to come in, and I was like, during a panty, don't twist my arm. Oh, right, let me come. And anyway, I was waiting for the bus, and then this naked woman just ran up to me, and then she slapped me in the face, and then she ran off. I know. Some people have to pay for that, and I just got it for free. I don't know how I got so lucky. I mean, I also used to be a really shitty person when I was younger, so I feel that was atonement for everything I've done wrong, and I was a fresh start, and I'm ready to go off into the world. Speaking of work, 3 of my coworkers are pregnant right now, so that's exciting for them. I mean, I got new birth control this year, and no one told me congratulations. That's fine, whatever. Okay, sure. Well, the times I have sex and I don't get pregnant, give me a cake for that. That's the true miracle. Yeah, before COVID, I got laid all the time, and by all the time, I mean once every 3 months. So for me, that's all the time. Yeah. Afterwards, it'd be thanks. See you next quarter. Boo, 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 boo. Yeah. Yeah, but now during the celibacy virus, it is rough. Are we making progress at all? No, this is going terrible in every direction. This is terrible, man. But ABC did finally cast the first Black Bachelor. What the hell, ABC? You cast a virgin before you cast a man of color. What on earth are you doing? Yeah, how do you know Colton was the first virgin? You're not checking. It's not like COVID. You can't put something in their nose and check or something like that. You don't know if he was a virgin. Also, how do you know if Ben Higgins, how do you know if his fantasy suite was that fantastical? You have no idea, man. I don't know. I was reading online, and they were saying oh, this is when experts think you're gonna have to stop wearing a mask. And I thought, oh my God, I hope never. I love it so much. I look really good in a mask, guys. It brings out my eyes. Oh my God, I don't know how I got to be so beautiful with a mask on. Just cover my whole face and I'm finally beautiful. And I love, I know, and I love when you're in a grocery store and you see somebody you kind of know. You don't have to say anything. You'd be like, oops, sorry, I didn't see you under the mask. And you just run off, yeah. And they try to talk to you and you're like, go away, I'm being a good person, social distance, get out of my face. Yeah, all right, I don't have any more time. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Patty Mansbach. One more time. Yeah, there's some I saw clapping and I heard clapping, but it was different people. It was not. It was the sound was different. Thank you very much. I think that's always for me. Like I'll put it out there. I think we're 9 months away from the beginning of normalcy. I think it's still a solid 9 months out, and I like to just ask people like what their timeline is, what they think, just to know how bad they are at estimating projects like in life. Like I know how slow shit moves. Like shit ain't going back to normal in April. There's a ramp up too. There's a ramp up. Some of us are very used to this and will continue to spread COVID in order to work from home. And make our RSU, our share prices for the company we work for, continue to skyrocket. Our next comedian coming up, please welcome Amber Gill.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I was thinking about the degree that people will go to deter masturbation, like circumcision, in large part, especially in America anyway, is based on sort of Puritan values, avoiding too much like masturbation. And then there's like all these lies they tell you, like you're gonna go blind. There's cornflakes, just like all the degrees. Kellogg's was literally, cornflakes were made to deter masturbation, but like so many lies. Like the only way that anyone ever actually went blind was by not masturbating. Theory, we literally don't know because no one's ever done it. We're getting through the year. We got past Jesus's birthday for those who give a fuck. My friend calls him Hot Jesus, and it's like not untrue. Like he's definitely portrayed as this very attractive, tall, broad-shouldered, ab for days kind of dude, and you just wonder if there weren't like wiser, uglier messiahs. That were really smart, that people are like, yeah, Jebediah is like cool and everything, but like, did you see the dude on the beach, Jesus? Like so interesting. He's so smart. Yeah, it's just like modern day thirst traps and getting followers, right? I think about this year, speaking of getting followers, I had like a fantasy of creating an OnlyFans page, because I mean everyone has this fantasy of like using men like ATM machines, but like from the comforts of your own home. And it's not to say that I think I'm that attractive. I think men's standards are profoundly low. And there really cool things like cake sitting. That shit up. I learned about that this year. I was like, I have an ass. I know where to buy a cake. This is so doable. The only hiccup is that you have to be nice to men to bring them into your fan base. And I was like, I'm out. I'll let that dream die as well. I don't know what the year was for the Chinese calendar, but for me, it was the year of the cougar. And not like in an intentional way. I think of a year ago, there's no way I would have done what I did this year. And it's just like, how did that happen? And it's just like, I think you guys all know, it's just like, one young man approaches you and then another, and before you know it, you're on a year-long cub crawl. Okay. I'm really into the TikTok trend of tell me you're this without telling me you're this. They're usually very annoying, but these are very fun. So I thought of one like, tell me you're a cougar without telling me you're a cougar. The dude I'm dating, I'll start. The dude I'm dating has a refrigerator light dick. And for those of you who don't know, it's just like, I've never seen it off, only seen it on. Every time I open the door, it's on. Tried to catch it, tried to wake up early, always on. So that would be mine. But then it occurred to me I would hear other people's and it would get like really pedophilic feelings. All right. I think I'm going to end on that. Thank you so much, you guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Amber Gill. I put this picture up because I want you to know that Jesus was actually a Canadian hockey player. This is Duncan Keith of the Chicago Blackhawks. and the Blackhawks posted the hockey is coming, like and did this very strange promotional thing with it. I'm just pointing that out there because I'm a big Blackhawks fan, and hockey is back. And then, oh my God, is this changing in real time? These are all my previous backgrounds. It's becoming disturbing. Why did I have all these backgrounds? What is going on here? Who are these people? Okay, now I'm back to normal. I will stop doing totally unintentional visual gags. Thank you, Amber Gill. I did not mean to take away from that. Woo! We're going to keep rolling through the list, guys. Our next video coming up, Gary Hughes.
Yeah.
Woo.
All right. Thanks.
Hey.
You know, I'm a junior. And my dad wasn't really there growing up. But my mother hates that I look like him. Like sometimes I catch my mother looking at me, and she's like, "I can't stand you. Look like that damn man." And I have to tell her I don't know why you fuck that damn man. Like, it's not how genetics work. My dad treated me like damn near like I was like a puppy. He just named something after because I'm a junior. Like, I would run. You ever run into? I used to run into my dad around town. You ever ran into your father around town? I used to run into him like a cousin. And I remember I was at my grandmother's Bible study. We had a break, and I was in line at the gas station for some chips. And I recognized the voice of the guy arguing with the clerk, and it was my dad. And I was very happy to see him. And I was like, "Hey, Dad!" And he turned around. He looked at me. He said, "Who you?" He looked at me for like 5 seconds, and he was like, "Oh, Junior, what up, Junior? What up, Junior?" And he was on crack, right? So he took me to the crack den. Right. And we went to the crack spot, and he's like, they doing operations because he's like throwing like little crack rocks down the stairs and stuff. And I'd be looking at it, and he'd be like, "Look at me." I was like, "Yo, I thought this was like an intern class. I thought I was taking a child to the trap day." You know what I'm saying? It's like the most fatherly thing you've done. You know, I thought this was cool. He's showing me where he work and play. I like that. Thanks, Pops. That was pretty cool about that. I'll tell you this stupid thing. I work at a coffee shop. This guy came in and he ordered a mocha, but the way he ordered it was hella strange. This is how he ordered. He said, "Let me get a full-blown mocha." A full-blown mocha? What else can you order? Is that how you order things? Like, yo, let me get a full-blown burger and a full-blown kids meal. No full-blown tomatoes. I was like, is that a AIDS term? What are you talking about? Full-blown mocha? Anyway, I was just tripping out how he ordered that shit. We've been doing this thing at the coffee shop when elder people walk in, elder women particularly, and we try to guess if they were bad back in the day, if they looked good, and would you hit it? Would you hit it? We try to guess from now, like, would you hit it? And it's like, it just leaves me now. I just be standing across the street from retirement homes. I'd be like, "Yo, Miss Maybelline, what up, baby?" hey, Dottie, I see you, Dottie. I see you. You know, because I see you, and they don't get it because they out their mind, you know, elder people. Like, I see you is a huge compliment in the Black community. It's a huge compliment. They don't understand. I tell you, man, at my college graduation, I emceed the graduation, right? I was making up jokes in the wing, saying it at the podium. It was turning over great, right? The best open mic ever. And afterwards, the dean of the program walked to my mother and I. He was like, you got a bright future ahead of you. And he looked at my mother. He's like, "You should be proud of your son." And I was like, "Oh, it's a cool moment." And then this random family walked up to me and they was like, "I see you." And I started crying. Tears of joy, because I was getting recognition from these random dudes that was smelling like Black and Mild and weed. I was like, "Yes, thank you." All right. Well, I don't want to say that joke. I'll do an impression. Everybody likes impressions. I'll do a Blues Clues impressions. Everybody knows Blues Clues. This is Blues Clues walking in on his partner cheating on somebody, right? Blues Clues, they have a partner. They walking in on them. They cheating on them. Here it goes. All right. My name is Gary Hughes. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Hey, Gary. Gary, I have a question. What do you keep your thermostat at? Because I can never figure out what's the appropriate temperature to wear a vest, like an insulation. and you're wearing it inside. So.
Yeah, it's more like a style.
All right. I will sweat too much if I am uncomfortable, so I cannot just wear clothes just for style. That's how it goes. Thank you, Gary Hughes. One more time for Gary. We're gonna keep rolling. Our next comedian, he's from Chicago, a friend of the mic. Please welcome Andrew Shanklin.
Hello, everybody. I don't like that my knee is in the shop. Let me adjust. Okay. Oh, 420, that's the weed number. We all know why 420 is the weed number, right, folks? 420 is the weed number because that's how much it costs to buy a gram of weed. Hell yeah. And before any of you get mad at me, no, I'm not stupid. I'm not paying $420 for a gram of weed. I'm paying 80. 4 times 20 is 80. Just because you're a stoner doesn't mean you can't do math. Mm-hmm. Just kidding. I've never smoked weed ever. I just think that's a fun joke about math. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna I think I'm gonna try to get, if I have kids, I'm gonna try to get them on Adderall, because I feel like if they're anything like me, it'll be like the limitless drug for them. You know, like I'll leave them in a room with a bottle of pills and be like, "You guys have fun learning to count cards or whatever you do. You know, you guys have fun plotting a bank heist." I feel like that's what you would do on it. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, if I was a kid in one of those movies where I was rescued by a dog, I would be so mad. I'd be so mad. I'd be like, "Mom, Dad, your only son went missing, and the best you could do was send a golden retriever. That's it? You sent a dog? I'll show you where the red fern grows. Huh? I got your old yellow right here, folks." People are always like, "Do you eat ass? Do you eat ass?" It's like, hey, I'm still working on vegetables, okay? How am I gonna toss a salad if I'm not eating any living greens? Huh? All right. Don't really like that joke, but I'm glad you guys did. Let's see. When I was in high school, I'd make fun of all the stoners because they were stoners and I was not, and I think it'd be funny if they made fun of me. You know, they're like, "That Andrew, he's always wearing collared shirts and turning in his homework on time. What a loser!" I mean, everything I ever say in high school is they're like, "Today's 420. We should not be in school today." And it's like, what do you think the administration is going to do? They're going to be like, "We would love to continue teaching your children important skills. However, we all need to get really, really high today. So I'm sure you'll understand that we're not going to teach them. They can stay home, be into couch, folks." My family thought that was very funny when I told them that's how you know the difference between sativa and indica. I feel like I kind of relate to Puritans because when I see a hot person having sex and like doing fun things and being hot, I'm like, "Stop that. We can't all do that. It's not fair." You know, like I feel like the Salem witch trials, just they show how conceited most men are. You know, like a lot of women were accused of witchcraft for being like sexually liberated. And I know lots of guys that would be like, "Wait a minute, a woman that doesn't want to have sex with me, clearly she's under the possession of some kind of demon," you know? All right. And that joke is about being a feminist. So you should probably laugh at it. Sometimes this will be my last joke. Sometimes the dating app algorithm gets it a little too right. You know, it's too specific. I'm like, a short Catholic girl from Northwest Indiana that wants to write children's books. Nice try, Hinge, but I'm not gonna date my mom. Okay. How stupid do you think I am? All right. Well, that was fine.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew Shanklin.
Yeah.
Andrew Shanklin. This is how I promoted the mic. I promote the mic differently in the Chicago comedy scene than I do on the Zoom comedy scene. This is one that I posted today, and I'm proud of that because I'm going to introduce another former Chicago comic. He's all over the place. He's moving multiple cities in COVID, following the dream of performing stand-up comedy and being in TV and film. Please welcome Ron Irvin.
Oh,
Praise
boy.
the Lord.
Praise the
Praise
Lord.
the
That's
Lord.
right. Praise the Lord. How are we doing,
Lord.
Fun Simulation 2000? We're hanging out. Guys, all right, so let's get this out of the way. What are the odds? What's the over-under right now that Donald Trump is currently in Joker makeup? Because that's the only thing that can make this whole shit worth it. Jesus Christ. No, so yeah, some of you know me. If you don't, I lived in Chicago the last 5 years or so. Back home in Cincinnati temporarily. I'll be living in New York City come February. And it's been weird. Like, I was born and raised here, but I'm having like weird culture shock after coming back from 5 years. Like, there's certain things that just hit me now. Like, we have a god awful water park, and it's just called the beach. And I don't think that you're allowed to do that because it's terrible. And they just call it the beach. And I think that's the equivalent of like a homeless guy boiling spaghetti and spit under like a bridge being like, "Yeah, no, this is Olive Garden." So that's what I'm dealing with when we're here. I have my background is not just for yucks. I'm not going to say that I listen to a lot of jazz because I don't, but I love going to see jazz live. in particular for some reason. And I was lucky enough to see some recently. And the guy played the first song and he ended it. And he was like, thank you. That song was called Tears in the Wind or whatever. And he said the subtext was a conversation with Anakin. And I verbally went, what? And he said, yeah, I wrote that song after I got done watching Revenge of the Sith. And I was just like, I don't know if I was the only, but my brain just froze. And I was just like, I don't understand how you can watch a Star Wars prequel and just be like, I got to jazz about this. It was weird. It like broke my brain. I just like, how do you watch? I don't know, like give up Anakin. I have the high ground. And you're like, yes, keep it a bebop bop. And then he went, I swear to God, like 2 songs later, he played the song and he's like, I wrote that song about a little boy that I found out that was born with no legs and crippled arms who grew up to be a wrestler. I'm like, all right, now you're just fucking with me. You can't do that. Like, and I love the fact that it's instrumental jazz. So I can't like, there's no way that I can interpret any message that you would put behind that shit. You can't just be like, bap, 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 and I'm like, what? And he became a wrestler? That's crazy. That's not how it works. So just put whatever you want into it. Mark, you were watching RuPaul before this started. That was bleeding in if anybody was here, so I feel obligated to do this joke. Do you think there's some guy who's just sitting around his apartment on Netflix going, I don't know who this RuPaul lady is, but I love me a drag race. Let's see. There has to be at least one. And he gets halfway into the episode and he's like, when do they get to the cause? It's just all these pretty ladies arguing with each other. And I'm like, ladies, sell it on the racetrack. All right, my name is Ron Irvin. My special's on Pornhub. Give it up for your host.
Woo! Yeah, Ron Irvin, jazz fan, Ron Irvin. I love it. Ron, we never went to a jazz show together. We've been to a lot of different things. Never quite jazz. I don't know why. We need to do that sometime soon. We're going to keep rolling, guys. We got a lot of comics to get through before the Fast Minute in Comedy. The whole reason I do this, the next comedian is Stephanie Levy.
Woo! Hi. Thanks. It's Levy. But no big deal. I figure if this comedy thing works out, I'm going to say that I'm related to Dan and Eugene and just like fuck my real family. So if the 20s are anything like my 20s, we're all going to die. And we're not off to a great start in case you haven't noticed. So last year we lost, months on end to COVID lockdowns. When I was 20, I lost months on end to rehab for an eating disorder. They're a little bit more similar than you would think, except for the symptoms, because with COVID, you don't taste anything, and with bulimia, you taste it twice. And now, of course, we're in 2021, the year of the functioning alcoholic, obviously. Side note, I know that we're all saying, like, I can't wait to go to bars again this year. The truth is, we're all going to lose our minds when we have to start paying bar prices for drinks again. Like, I spent a year drinking my own bottle of Kirkland bourbon, and now you want $8 for a Jim Beam and soda. No. It's the same liquor from the same producer. Look it up. So that's 21. Then get to 22. For me, I'm just out of college and grateful to just eat shit from the world in order to find my place in it. So I guess that's the equivalent of concerts starting back up again, but like only Nickelback is touring. 23, I was fired from my first real world job. So spoiler alert, Biden's gonna die. 24 to 26 are largely lost to an abusive marriage. So expect the actual MAGA coup or President/Supreme Leader Bezos or something. From there, honestly, the rest of my 20s get so messy. I don't know what the real world equivalent is going to be because it's like, let's see, 27, divorce, 28, slutty, 29, graying, 30, Great Depression. Looking back, there were a lot of signs that I shouldn't have gotten married, but none more clear than the fact that my mom wanted to spend the morning of my wedding at the Holocaust Museum. That's not a joke. It was the Holocaust Museum. I'll never forget it. What compels someone to go to the Holocaust Museum the day of a wedding? Like, besides the fact that a bunch of family members you don't really know are going to be there? Morning of my wedding works with or without the you, as it turns out. I thought that getting divorced would be the most devastating end to any relationship I would ever have. And then the universe was like, nah, bitch. Anyone here get dumped during quarantine? Anyone else repulsive? Repulsive. Let down your hair that's been in a top knot for like the past 4 days. So yeah, I got dumped during quarantine twice, which means that 2 people decided that they would rather isolate from society than spend another goddamn minute around me. That was especially hard for me because I don't really do single. I have to say that in a certain way. Like, I don't do single. It has to sound like everyone wants a piece of this, and they do. But the truth is that it's all an act. Like, the second I get off this stage, or the Zoom, whatever. I wrote this when I thought that I was going to say it in front of people. I tend to treat relationships like auditions with like these constant callbacks until they don't. Here are some of the roles I played for partners. Let's see. There was this hipster guy who had all these cool vintage tees like Joy Division, Live Urban Outfitters. It blows my mind that the guy who ruined the Smiths for me wasn't Morrissey. And so now I'm in this place where I feel kind of weird saying what it is I want from a partner because the bar is really low. Like, I just want somebody who's smart, passionate, funny, but not funnier than me, gainfully employed, Jewish, has like a healthy relationship with 2 living parents. Oh, that's where I'm fucking up. I'm Stephanie. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Stephanie. Yeah, Stephanie, you just before you claim to be related, you have to get the glasses. You gotta get some thick glasses. That's what you gotta do. I think she's gonna go get them right now. She's been planning this for a while. I do have a solution for expensive alcohol. It's go to Reed's Local when we could all go out drinking again. $2 hams, $5 hams, and Old Crow shots. That's a lot. You could get drunk for $20 there. I've done it before. She put the glasses on. I'm gonna spotlight real quick. There you go. Okay, she's got the glasses. There we go.
I have my contact lenses in too, so this is so blurry.
I know Morrissey didn't ruin the Smiths for you, but John Mouse ruined John Mouse for me this week. If anyone gets that reference besides Ian Renz. Ian, you better not be wearing that shirt, Ian. You can't wear that shirt anymore. Not on this.
No, it's only Ariel Pink who sucks.
Right. John Moss is there too. He sucks too. Our next meeting coming up, Nicole Turley.
Hey, yay! Oh, woo! Yeah, this week. Yeah, did anybody catch that episode of South Park on Wednesday? Yeah, and that was off the chain. Very much a joke about the riots. Okay, so that joke was not off the chain, obviously. Not to be crude or anything, but do you think that Anthony Fauci is like getting just swimming in pussy right now? I mean, he just kind of has that smile, like, yeah, you know. I mean, my guess he is. He's got his own throw pillow. If you don't believe me, go to my Instagram at Turley World. I have a picture of it on there. So, you know, if he's got his own throw pillow, he must be getting tons of pussy. Does anybody? I'm in a relationship, but I keep my my profile pics updated on Tinder just to make sure that I'm still unsolicited dick pickable. Yes, I don't know. And there's this weird thing going on with my hair. I'm balding like right here. I'm like, what is this? It's like the things you learn when you do Zoom comedy. I think that the phrase "life is a cooperation, not a competition" is just something unsuccessful people say. You know, kind of like there's no such thing as failure, you know, only learning experiences, like the experience of learning you suck at something. I think that you become happier the more you realize life sucks, you know, because then you lower your expectations. I mean, it worked for my sex life. But my friends tell me that I have a negative outlook on life. They're always giving me advice on how I can be more positive when they should really just be giving me drugs. But finally, to shut them up, I finally took a piece of their advice and I started doing a gratitude journal. Does anybody do those? It's where you, for example, you write down 3 things a day that you are grateful for, and you write them down. I know, gag, right? So anyway, I tried it. And so the first day of my gratitude journal, I wrote down the 3 things I was thankful for. And those 3 things were Adderall, Oxy, and And Xanax, yeah. And then I did all those things, and I felt great, you guys. Gratitude journals work, right? I have a boyfriend. It's hard to talk men into doing self-care stuff. They tend to not like it. I told my boyfriend that he should keep a gratitude journal, and he told me he thought about it, but then he could feel his balls shrinking. So he decided against that. Me and my boyfriend, we get along really well. We have a lot in common. We're both feminists, believe it or not. We're both feminists, but I'm a feminist until it's time to lift something heavy, and he's a feminist until it's time to do the dishes. He is a conspiracy theorist. I don't want to brag or anything. He's not a QAnon or flat earther dude. I have standards, but he's a conspiracy theorist. He's obviously not a very good one because he doesn't know I'm talking shit about him all the time. But he's a great guy though. I mean, we really get along great. We're both recovering addicts. I'm recovering from downers, and he's recovering from uppers. So we go together like a speedball. That's a joke for druggies only. One more thing. It was a really hectic day for me today. I was almost late to this. I was out getting an abortion. Don't worry, I wore a mask. And I will not because I needed one, just, for fun. Right. That's, and on that note, I'm Nicole Turley.
Nicole Turley. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, you were referencing the ride being like South Park. That I like that. That's good. I'm really pissed off at the riot this week because I was developing material about the Christmas bomber, and that's just irrelevant now. I got to scrap that set. This riot totally knocked that out. Every 2 weeks, a news cycle change, so try to be relevant or not, or just write whatever you want. I don't know. Our next meeting coming up. I'm very excited. He's very. I like that he came here early. He usually pops in late, but he's been here this whole time. So please welcome Dan Wienko.
Hey, Mark. Thanks for having me. Yeah, wild week. I heard you guys talking about RuPaul. It's so funny you're talking about RuPaul because I just got around to watching RuPaul's Drag Race on Netflix. I know I'm very late to the meetup on this one, but man, what a show. I binged an entire season yesterday, and it was fabulous, like you'd expect. And you know what I started thinking? I get it why comics are like comics when they look at drag queens and magicians, like you can't hold a flame to great drag queens or magicians, and that's why comics get so mad at them, which I think is not fair. You shouldn't be mad at them. You know what else I was thinking? You know how when some people get into a relationship and one person wants to change the other person a little bit to kind of make them a better partner? Wouldn't that be a great psychological nudge if you just wanted to change a MAGA guy? Like, I'm pretty sure you'd be a good drag queen. I think we should invest in a few things like a wig. Man, the wigs are, anyway, you guys should watch it. I know it's been out for about 40 years, but I really enjoy it. Man, I wrote on the 6th, I wrote my first check of the year, and I wrote, 1/6/21. And at that one, when I wrote the one, I was like, oh, we're there. I had this sigh of relief, and then I turned on the TV, and man, there was a lot of stuff going down. And then I was watching all this madness ensue, and Biden was like, the world is watching, as the Capitol's getting stormed by, a fraternity that is, dealing in, used pelts and spears. Biden's like, the world is watching, and the world was watching, and I know exactly what the world was watching and what they were thinking. Where are the suicide bombers? Like, where's the commitment to they just stormed in there and they had no plan after that. Like, other terrorists around the world were like, no one wore a bomb. Like, not one white person could put on a bomb. Well, I think that's very disappointing. None of these are jokes. It's okay. I just wanted to show up and watch my time tick down. I don't even know if I have anything intelligent or funny to say. In fact, I think it's pretty rude of me to keep coming into these mics with absolutely nothing. I just feel like bombing is essential. So, and maybe I went too far with the suicide bomb, but man, that would have done a real number on that house. I'm going to give that next minute back to the room because I've had enough of me. So thanks, Mark. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, Dan Wienko. I had similar thoughts about what the world had to be thinking as they watched the events unfold, and I think it's just stay the fuck out of the U.S. Like, leave them alone. Like, they're gonna have 2 civil wars. They're gonna do it again. Like, just don't invade. Don't like. They're crazy enough. The people that like the cops are beating and killing cops. So leave them alone. I basically think it's a giant leave them alone situation. There you go. Our next comedian coming up, Even Hall.
Ooh, here I am, Even Hall. I'm hanging out here. I'm hanging out with my good friend Mike O'Keefe. As you can see, we're at the Golden Gate Bridge here. Mike and I have met a total of 1 time in person, but I can tell that he wants to be friends with me as badly as I want to be friends with him. So that's why I'm doing this. It was also in my backyard, so I count that as friends. You know what I mean? Yeah. They say, when someone pops into your head, that means they're thinking about you. So that means Mike's thinking about me lots. Mike's thinking about me all the time. So I want to make sure that everyone knows that Mike is one of my best friends, and here we are hanging out together, watching the sunset, just like dudes do. Very cool. I think it's pretty awesome that they broke into the Capitol and they broke into Pelosi's office, and then their big idea was like, let's take a selfie. It's like a fucking panty raid at summer camp. They're just like, here we are in the girls' cabin. Wow, it's just absolutely nothing. They did nothing. It was pretty fucking cool. I lived in Iowa, the state. Is anyone here from Iowa or familiar with the state? Cool. One person's I lived in Iowa for a while, and people give Iowa a lot of shit. I gotta say, people give Iowa a lot of shit, but like, if you haven't lived there, then you don't know how much they unequivocally deserve all that shit. You know what I mean? Like, that place is dog They say there's more pigs than people in Iowa, but I just think there's a huge gray area between the pigs and the people. You know what I mean? Like, the pigs and the people in Iowa, the gradient of it looks like an Animorphs book cover. You know what I mean? Where just the first one is a pig, and then the one in the middle is just like a diabetic teenager with a snout. And then the one at the end is just the biggest person you've ever seen drinking a natural ice. And that's Iowa, man. I love it there. It's weird, like, going back there, parts of Iowa, like from Chicago, it's like you're like a missionary showing up with pop culture. You know what I mean? You just go to small town Iowa and you're like, I come bearing TikTok. You know what I mean? It's a place in the past. There are towns in Iowa where Michael Jackson is still black. You know what I mean? And that like, they're going to be real surprised come 2009 around there, with what happens. He died. Okay. I got a job right as the pandemic started, which is pretty crazy. Cause it was just like, the world was like, let's just fuck up everything for everyone except for Evan, cause he's already had it bad for a while. I didn't really, I was so poor for so long. Well, I guess I wasn't really poor. I was broke, because poor means you don't have money, but broke means I kept feeling bad asking my parents for it. So yeah, but one time here, just a quick little anecdote about that. One time, my plumbing in my apartment backed up on the same day that my credit card went into overdraft, which it felt like kind of an unnecessary metaphor. You know what I mean? Like God kind of laid the shitstorm on pretty thick with that one. But so the maintenance guy comes, the plumber comes, and he's digging in the toilet to figure out what's going on. And he, like, no joke, totally real, pulls out a handful of change, like change from our toilet. And and he looked at me as one adult to the next, and he said, "Try not to flush change." Which is like, what does he think? Like, does he think I just come home from my job as an oil baron to my basement level apartment, and just start tossing coins in the toilet? Like, I only pay for things in checks and ingots. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, I was like, dude, you've seen my apartment. If I knew there were coins down there wouldn't be coins down there. All right. Well, that's all I've got. Good night.
Thank you. Thank you. Evan Hall. I actually Googled to myself, am I pronouncing your name right? And then you said it the right way. So thank you for helping me. I have a problem with reading names where I just read them kind of I don't look at the full name until I start reading. I just start reading. I'm like, oh, EV. I know how the word even starts. And then I saw the E. I was like, screw it. I'm already committed to even. I'm saying even. That's how my brain works. Glad you could connect with your friend Mike during all this, or we're bringing people together. Oh, that's what we're all about. I'm looking for our next comic. He didn't have it started. Oh, he started now. Okay, we're ready. We're ready to please welcome Gio Wagner.
Hey. Woo. Been a weird time already. We had New Year. Things are looking good for 5 days. Mm-hmm. If you have a group of people who don't like wearing masks, and you have a group of people that want to storm the Capitol, you would think they would change one of those positions, because they're rounding them up pretty easy. Hey, look, a face with no mask. I mean, here up to this point, work security was, it's like find the masked assailants. Like, where's Waldo? Not now. Now it's like, hell, this guy's got horns on him. He's going to be easy to find. Yeah, it's been fun. The pandemic is changing a lot of things, but I think the biggest thing that's going to change is how we watch medical shows. It used to be, hey, McDreamy's got his sailboat hat on. Now it's, I think he's wearing that mask wrong. He touched his face. He broke the sterile field. That patient's going to die. Something else we can watch. Maybe that new cop show. What's the description? 2 white cops, downtown big city, helping urban youths to. Okay, no, that is not going to work. No, they're too busy taking selfies with insurgents. And with the pandemic, we're really more aware of our bodies. And body is a wondrous thing. The design, I mean, opposable thumbs, interlocking genitals, my personal favorite. But who had the bright idea to take the air filtration system and the food intake and put it in the same pipe? And while we're at it, let's drain our sinuses there too. I mean, wouldn't it have been much more useful to say, when you see a pretty girl, have your abs get hard? If they just found the interlocking genitals and they said, you know what, we're good, we'll coast from here. Been talking to a friend of mine who's been celibate during the whole pandemic, not by choice, by fear of getting COVID. And I talked to her one day, I said, listen, COVID is not a sexually transmitted disease. It's an upper respiratory infection. Are you honestly going to sit there and tell me that you can't hold your breath longer than these guys can last? Yes. I've been talking to a friend of mine. They got married and they decided they want to have kids. They want to have one of each. I said, at last count, that's 29 genders. That's a hell of a lot of kids to have. Been looking at the whole, mask thing, and if we weren't supposed to wear masks, why are the ears so conveniently located? It's perfect for me. It's God's design. My girlfriend told me that she wanted to have a fairy tale relationship. I didn't really understand what she meant till I came home and found 7 short guys in the bedroom. She told me never change. And she complains about the smell. That is my time. I'm Gio Wagner.
Yeah, thank you, Gio Wagner. Thank you, Gio. We're gonna keep rolling. Our next comedian is a John Moss apologist, and also the resident dancer, Ian Ryland Smith.
Hey.
Yes, yes. The thing about John Mouse, you see, is he wrote a 338-page dissertation about how much he hates racists and racist people. However, I will note that that does make him look like a Jordan Peele villain. Yeah, like they just cut him right out of Get Out, if you know what I mean. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I'm gonna keep listening to his music because I like his music, and also Spotify doesn't pay very well. Same with Ariel Pink. I'll only listen to him on Spotify because they don't pay very well. My 3 LPs can attest to that. I have yet to see a dime from having my music on their service. I mean, having my music on their service. My bad. There's another band that I like. They're a guilty pleasure of mine, and I probably shouldn't tell you that I like this band. I think Mark might know what this band is. They're banned in Chicago. They attract the wrong crowd. They're pretty much the British equivalents to gay Republicans. It's not the Smiths, but they're like the Smiths. They use more synthesizer stuff and more acoustic. The band is called Death in June, and the only thing you need to know about them is that their music is good, and do not look anything else about them up. Do not. You will regret it. Just listen to their music. Make sure it's on Spotify because they pay the least. But trust me, you don't want to know who these people are. You just want to hear their music. Their music is really good, okay? Ugh. All right, I'm going to do my impression of QAnon after getting caught. It's a prank. It's just a prank, bro. Yeah, someday they're going to catch QAnon. And, you know, I feel partially responsible for all the stupid people who raided the Capitol because I probably helped some of them pass their history exams.
Ethan.
I wanted to be cool in high school. I wanted to get invited to parties, maybe get some mouth or pussy, who knows. That never happened except for the cheating on the history exams part. I did help a lot of people cheat, but I did not get pussy in return. What can I say? Let's see. I think if Donald Trump were to shoot himself on national TV, all of his supporters would be like, "No, that was fake. He didn't actually shoot himself." And the staff, out of habit, will be like, "The president didn't actually shoot himself, or he was joking when he shot himself in the head on national television." And then he'll just tweet. Oh no, he won't tweet. He's banned forever. He'll just be like, "Hey, motherfuckers, I'm still dead." And they'll be like, "Nah. QAnon says he's alive." All right, that's all I got.
Yeah. Ian Ryland Smith. I think you're onto something because I think that's probably the only way out of this is him faking his own death. So I wouldn't believe it either. I would, shave his head and go work at a golf course somewhere.
He could launch a nuke or something.
I don't think they'll even let him do that at this point. Our next video coming up, I'm gonna keep ripping through. We got a lot of comics. I just saw Andre Medrano. Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for having me. This has been fun so far. I hope the next 4 years are good for comedy. Like when Trump was inaugurated, everybody's like, "Oh, it's going to be great for comedy." It was good for the country, but was it good for comedy? I'm not sure. I've after all, like that whole process we went through, like I'm glad Biden won. It's insane to me that we couldn't find any good candidates except for Joe Biden. He was the best candidate all along. I didn't vote for him in the primary or anything, but he's by far the best candidate. All my friends, or most of them, didn't vote for him in the primaries, and they had these dumb reasons for why he wasn't a good candidate. Like, he's old, he's dumb, he doesn't know anything about anything, he rambles on and on. Those are not liabilities, those are assets. Like, if we lived in New Zealand or Denmark, maybe. But America loves dumb candidates, and I can prove it. Jimmy Carter was literally an engineer on a nuclear submarine. And when he ran for president, he was like, "Oh, I'm a peanut farmer from Georgia." And he won. That's how you play the game. And people are like, "Yeah, well, he lost re-election." Like, yeah, because he ran against the guy who said ketchup is a vegetable and trees cause pollution. You have to like keep stepping it up and iterating and iterating. Been watching a lot of streaming services during the lockdowns. I'm sure everybody has. I've learned a lot. I've learned that every country, almost every country in the world, has a thriving TV industry, and also 7 to 10 actors each. Like every people in the same shit over and over again. And it's really made me want to travel, but I want like the idealized version that I see on Netflix. Like I know Paris is basically New York and all that stuff, but I watch a lot of Scandinavian noir, and in my mind, it's just the entire region is a killing field. And in reality, there's 4 murders in Iceland and like 20 in the rest of Scandinavia. But I just want to get there and be like, wow, all of the cops look like asthmatic lumberjacks or indie rockers with rich parents, and not in a cool way. I think I was wondering, like, how did that come about? Like, how did they start doing that stuff? And they were probably just like, "Oh, it's dark here all the time. We're all pale. It's cold. That makes sense." And that's kind of like people who started stand-up on Zoom. Like they studied it really closely and got good at it. And when this is over, they're obviously gonna have a fan base and they're gonna be all right, but they're gonna be like just lurking around the stage like a school shooter and like not know how to hold the mic and stuff. I generally do not identify with Mitt Romney, but mostly because he's a 70-something Mormon billionaire. But when that speech he gave in the Capitol, there was a moment where he said, "Tell them the truth," and looked up and waited for them to clap. And for that split second when there was silence, I thought he was going to be like, "I literally just wrote that today. There's something there." I was like, yeah. That's what it's like to go in a basement full of drunks at 1 a.m. I think I might be white. Like, I know I'm Hispanic, but I find I get really offended when people say stuff like, making fun of like white stuff, and not like, why isn't there a White History Month? Like, I'm not dumb or anything, but when people say stuff like hockey's the least athletic sport, I'm like, really, dude? Have you ever tried ice skating? It's pretty hard. There's 4 edges on your feet, 2 on each one. Speaking of hockey, I recently found out I'm never going to win the Stanley Cup. Oh. And it's kind of a bummer. I know why. When I was 20 years old, I saw it in a train station. And I was like, "Hey, can I touch it?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, that's what it's here for." And then I found out that if you touch it before you win it, you'll never win it. So lesson learned. I have some really good ideas about the purification of race, but I got the lights, so maybe next time.
Stick around for the fastest minute. That's when everybody talks about that. Okay. Thank you, Andre Medrano. You were talking about Mitt Romney, and I wanted to point out that there's videos of like the QAnon nut jobs like harassing him at the airport before the rally and before the vote. They were like up, and he like didn't have security. He's like by himself. Like it was weird. I didn't know Mitt Romney would just sit in an airport with a laptop by himself. But I wanted to point out this is how Mitt Romney uses a laptop in case anyone thinks he's not a human. He had it turned on his lap and he was typing like this and looking into it like that. So I'm just saying Mitt Romney is an alien. He is fair game to go harass. Our next comedian coming up is Chicago comic Mike O'Keefe.
Hello, everybody. It's great to be in my own apartment. I hope that my future kids do not ask me where I was when the coup happened, because I was definitely in the drive-thru at Wendy's. And I literally, like, my girlfriend called me and I was like, "What's this nonsense about?" She was like, "Come home, you got to turn on the news." And I was like, "Wait 1 sec. 2 for $5? Can we still do the 2 for..." It was Not my proudest moment. Boy, oh boy, I hope all those people get arrested and go to prison and then have to start an ugly supremacist gang. These are the ugliest people I've ever seen. How are you going to stop someone from stealing an election when you couldn't stop someone from stealing your toothbrush? These are ugly people. They're disgusting. My favorite one is the old lady that looked like this. And she like popped out of a pillar and was like, this is my impression of her. You guys want soup? That's what she sounds to me in my head. I made horse hoof chowder soup. I got raccoon bisque. I got teeth and broccoli. Listen, I haven't talked to anybody over the past couple days, but it's good to be here. I'm glad nothing good has happened to me over the last 9 months throughout the pandemic. That's got to be a very awkward conversation when this is all over. And you're just like, hey, I'm really sorry your grandma passed away. Do you want to have the funeral on my boat? Good. It's like, it goes fast enough that it'll dry our tears. I won't even charge you. I know you lost your job. I'm not even going to charge you for it. Speaking of boats, I was not a troubled student. I was a good student. I only got, school only called my house once. They called one time, and it was because they thought I hadn't practiced the recorder. And in their defense, I had not practiced the recorder. But in my defense, I didn't think that they could tell the difference between good recorder playing and bad recorder playing. It sounds exactly the same. It's all just someone who ate some saltines who's trying to whistle. That's all the recorder sounds like. Every single recorder song is just like, what's that? It's like, oh, that was Hot for Teacher by Van Halen. What was that? Oh, you couldn't tell? It was 99 Problems by Jay-Z. I am a virtuoso recorder player. Oh my God, was that Stairway to Heaven? No, I saw a cab that I needed to get. The recorder is dumb, and I don't like it. Cool. Well, that's really no. I like. I'm a soccer fan. Is anyone else here a soccer fan? A fan of international football? Cool. Back me up on this, Andre. They have something in like every soccer league in the world called relegation.
Yes.
Where if you're one of the worst teams in the league, you go play in a different league where you make less money and you're on TV less. It's a completely foreign concept to us. We don't have it, anything like it. But I think we need to start having it. And I think if you're in the NFL and you finish in the last 3, you have to go back to college. You don't get to play football. You have to go back and you have to start a bachelor's degree. You have to rush a frat, but not even a cool frat. You have to try and get into like AE Pi or something, like a real nerd ass frat. And then if you get good enough grades, you can come be on the fucking, Detroit Lions or whatever. Anyway, that was my time. See you guys later. Take care.
Thank you, Michael Key. I like that. I was just thinking, since everyone was talking about it, it made me think what I was doing during the attempted coup. And I would like, if I had to tell my kids or my grandkids that I was busy working for the new Fuhrer, Jeff Bezos, basically, that's what I was doing. I was busy working for Bezos. What was I doing for the new supreme leader of the world in the future? What was I doing? Helping him count his money. I work in the Amazon finance department, literally helping the richest man alive count his money. So that's not going to look good for me. I'm on the wrong side of history, I believe. Our next
second richest man.
Yeah. And you know what? I dropped some zeros. That's what I did this week. That was my little revolution. I dropped some zeros and made another horrible person richer than him, I guess. Just kidding. I didn't do that. I don't want to go to jail. I did not do that. Jesus Christ. I did my job and I had it on the TV in the background and I kept doing my job like we're all supposed to do. Our next meeting coming up, please welcome Ying Vigilant.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. Happy to be back. Your Sunday mic it's become like no drama Obama. Very predictable, you know, so very relaxing. I almost feel like just chitty chat and don't bother with the joke. But let's get back to the business of telling jokes. You know, everybody talking about this civil war or, you know, attempted coup, but you know, like, what do you mean civil war? Because it takes two to tango, right? You guys said that, and in Chinese we say, take two hands to clap. If you only have one hand, you know, waving because the chatter, if you look at the social media, did you see Biden people ever chat about civil war? No, it's just one side. So that's why when they did eventually got into the Congress, and today are, you know, the Trump supporters, all Victoria, their selfies and posting everywhere, and the lawmakers, they ended up on the floor. Did you see that? Nobody's fighting. They're just on the floor. So I think that's why they're like so pissed, you know. You got Victoria's supporter and the Trump supporter, and you got these lawmakers are hiding behind the chairs. So there's like, we're gonna turn that picture around, you know. So we're gonna arrest all those Victoria's people, the fighters, the clowns. So they're gonna go to jail, you know. So I think that's what's going on, you know. So another thing I want to say is that the 2020 is supposed to be the last year of MAGA, right? Make America Great Again year. Or, of course, as their people was praying literally for 4 years, right? The rally. Donald Trump basically conducted the campaign rally for 4 years. 4 more years, right? But I just don't know if God heard their prayer or something. Because God sent the pandemic, the COVID-19. Wow. I don't know what they're saying now, you know, but I can tell you that's my prayer. God answered my prayer, which is voting him out. Don't care, don't matter what. If it took a COVID-19, a pandemic to get him out of the office, hey, God heard my prayer. So, hallelujah.
Lord.
All right, yeah. And I don't know what how Donald Trump feel now, because for several months, right, he tried to ban TikTok. I'm glad he failed on that, right, guys? Because TikTok is his only choice, only option now. So hallelujah for that too. So I don't know if you guys still following the coronavirus data, because I checked today, it's 22.37 million positive cases, okay, as of today. And that is about 6.7% of our population. So let me break down further, okay? It's like in United States, out of every 15 people, there are one diagnosed positive. You know, if I still hear people say they have not met anybody, you know, their friends or family member got this coronavirus thing at this point. So can I just say, you don't know 50 people? Or do you know 50 people? You know, so I guess that's my time. Thank you, guys. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Ying Vigilance. We're gonna keep rolling, guys. Our next video coming up from Chicago, Mar McFly. Oh, he didn't start his video. You gotta start your video. I can't put you up if your video ain't started. Oh, he's on mute too. We might have to skip and come back. In the meantime, hope you're ready, Connor, because you are up next. Where is Wait, where is everybody? What happened?
Oh no.
We're all here.
Yeah.
I don't see.
You can click on him and ask him to turn his
Connor and Mark.
his audio on, and then he'll see that across his screen.
We're gonna jump to somebody who's ready and prepared. Blake Champlin.
Hey, what's up, guys? You know, Dan Wanko was talking about writing checks. What year is it? I don't understand. I can't remember the last time I wrote a check. I haven't bought checks in years. It's crazy. But so we just had Christmas, you know, and that's one of my favorite times of the year. Only because my some of my favorite memories were decorating the Christmas tree with all the fun colors and stuff. And then my mom goes through this big Victorian phase and gives us all smallpox. So Christmas was never the same after that one. Thanks, Mom. Yeah. So Walt Disney was known for a famous quote that said, the way to get started is to quit talking and to begin doing. What people probably don't know is that was actually his last words that he said to his wife right before he passed out. All right, that didn't work. Okay, so my favorite watch growing up was a Dr. Seuss watch, and I loved it. It was a great watch. It was so much fun because I could tell time in a shed. I could tell time in my bed. I could even tell time while standing on my brother's head. It was beautiful. Thank you, watch. So you think if you were a stalker, do you think your motto might be staring is caring? Okay, maybe not. Just me. So probably should change that now that you all know it. But back in, I was thinking of high school recently, and a bully used to whip me with his towel in gym class, but now he just uses his hand. So things are all working out for me. You know, we used to have a paper route, and it's tough. It's a pain to have a paper route in a rough neighborhood when you're 11, you're really small, and that 9mm is really heavy. It's hard to get around with them papers. I was always a short kid. It happens. So to everyone, oh, Yoni here. I thought it said you here. Man, look at me. Hey, so played a lot of basketball growing up, and we ran drills all the time. It was crazy. We were running drills in the morning, drills in the afternoon, drills in the evening. The coach said that was the fastest way to get his house built. So it kind of wore us out. You know, having Mr. Miyagi as a coach, I should have seen that as a red flag right at the beginning. Bastard. Oh man. So talk about irony. I actually got busted for underage drinking at a Jimmy Buffett concert. I don't know about you guys, but alcohol is the only reason Jimmy Buffett can work. No alcohol, no thank you. I can't do it. I can't set through that. It's terrible. Hey, I never understood what Led Zeppelin meant when they said that they would love me with every inch of their love. I mean, they're British. Why aren't they using metric? It baffles me why they would do such a thing. I actually dropped out of school and finally got my PhD at a late age, my late 30s, as a matter of fact. Now I just need to get that sex education and I'll be on my way. Help me out. I'm not sure that most, I'm not saying all, but most plastic surgery wasn't performed by a taxidermist, but I could be wrong. Hey guys, I'm Blake Champlin. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Blake Champlin. Thank you, guys. I had a few people bail out for some reason. I'm eating chili right now. I'm eating a very open mic friendly thing. I'm eating chili and Cheetos. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's where we're at in quarantine right now. Our next meeting coming up, I'm looking for him right now. Where'd you go? Oh, Adam Lax. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, man? Blake, dude, my favorite part of your bit, speaking into a spatula. That's fun stuff, man. My last name is Lax. And I like my last name, but like, you don't want to get married to me and then get divorced, because you'll forever be an X-Lax. I don't know. Some of you laughed at that before the punchline. Okay. It's a weird sensation. I really like hiking and camping. You know, if you didn't know my race already. I don't know. I just love. It's just like so refreshing and rejuvenating. You know, being away from civilization, with nature. You know, getting fucked up in a new setting. You know, it's like getting fucked up in the privacy of my own home is just not gonna cut it. I need the threat of a bear attack. You know. I really like hiking. You know, like getting that accomplishment of getting to the peak. You know, it's like so like rewarding. You know, like getting through that effort and making sure everyone else on Instagram knows about it. Yeah. You know, if it doesn't happen on Instagram, is it really important? I like being on top of the peak, you know, like looking around and, you know, marveling at the beauty of the surroundings. It's like God's Instagram post, you know, it's just like, he's just like, yeah, check out what I did, you know, might delete it later. You know, hashtag only in 6 days. Yeah, cool. You know, have you ever like watched like, you know, like those movies from your childhood, like as an adult, and you like notice things like you wouldn't otherwise, you know, as a kid. Like recently I was watching Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, like stoned because, you know, pandemic, and like those dwarves, you know, are just like a little too excited to go to work. You know, like hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, it's off to work we go. Like, you know, words never said by anyone in real life. Like singing and dancing on the way to work. It's like singing and dancing on the way to a colonoscopy. You know, it's like a big pain in the ass. That's cool. And like they worked in a mine. Okay, cool. They worked in a mine, like the most dangerous job in the world. You know, like what about those like, you know, African kids like you know, forced into cobalt mines? Like where's their like snappy and song and dance on the way to the mine? You know, it's like hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, it's off to work we go. Otherwise they'll kill our parents. You know. All right. I'm gonna end on that. I'm Adam Lax. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, Adam Lax. I think that they just smoked that weed that the Capitol stormers smoked. That's what they were doing. They're getting all pumped to go work for capitalism. That's exactly what they want. The freedom to go work for capitalism. Our next comedian coming up. Did you start your mic yet? Alicia did not start her video. I can't put her on. I'm gonna have to keep skipping around. Holy crap, I don't know where anyone is. This is really complicated because people are bailing left and right, and there's nothing wrong with that. People are busy. Brett's out there. So we're going to go to Chip.
Hey.
Coming up. Very excited for Chip Jones.
Woo. Hey, I didn't bail. I'm still here. Yay. It's good to be back here. It's been a while since I've been here. Been a minute.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff going on. You know, I live with what I call the opposite of an anti-masker. My wife is kind of like a mask Nazi. You know, she's always like, why aren't they wearing a mask? And you know, on Wednesday, she was just freaking out watching CNN. She was upstairs in the bedroom watching CNN, and she comes downstairs, and I'm sitting in front of the TV, and she's just screaming, "No, these people are wearing their masks." She's like, look on the TV right there. Nobody's wearing a mask. Why isn't anybody wearing a mask? And I looked at her and said, I guess because I'm watching Gone with the Wind. I mean, I guess this way nobody's wearing a mask, you know. But yeah, the elephant in the room, Wednesday, kind of crazy. Trump rally turning into a siege, you know. And I actually had a buddy who was down at the rally, you know, really right-wing guy, and he's, you know, pushing back against me. I said, well, you know, the whole thing is racist to begin with. And he's like, it's not racist. I was down there. You know, there were plenty of black people. There were a lot of black people. And, you know, I get it. You know, if I had been down there and I saw 2 black people, I'd have been like, damn, there are a lot of black people at this rally. It's like, you know, but yeah, so we're headed off the abyss. I do like doing these Zoom shows, I got to admit. You know, I know you're complaining about getting back to real life, but I love the Zoom shows. I mean, I've been able to do comedy all over the world. You know, I've done shows in Tokyo and Kuala Lumpur and Russia, and it's cool because everybody speaks English, which I think is amazing. So, like, it makes me kind of think that maybe colonialism gets a bad rap. You know what I mean? I mean, I understand they killed a lot of people, they enslaved even more, and they stole a lot of land. But, you know, without it, you know, a lot of people wouldn't have understood my dick jokes, you know? So I guess what I'm saying is I'm sort of a slave ship half full kind of guy, I guess is what I mean. That's where I'm at. You probably can't tell from the way I'm seated, but I do have long dreadlocks. And it's funny because when people see these, they automatically assume that I smoke and sell weed. And I just want to let you guys know I do not smoke weed. Nobody with glaucoma in the room tonight? Is that the deal? Okay. All right. I'll put the baggies back in the other room. I am probably the oldest comedian. And show you the gray hair. Yeah, and it's tough, you know, because I'm at that point where I am jealous. I'm jealous of the young guys in the room, you know, like Adam Lax. I know when he goes to the bathroom, he's got that powerful, steady stream, you know, he's like a little fireman with his fire hose. You know, if I'm your fireman, your house is burning to the ground. I mean, when I go, it's more like a ketchup pump at McDonald's, sort of squirt, squirt, squirt. Yeah, it takes a long time. I mean, most of the time I sit when I pee now, you know, which is kind of awkward at a urinal. But yeah, as long as you remember to stand up before you flush, you know, or your back gets wet. So my doctor, though, now, if I have to pee in a cup, he books me for 2 appointments, which I think is just rude. It's just rude. I guess I'll leave with this last thing. I've been spending time in quarantine trying to be the better man, you know, because like most comedians, I have issues. Found out I have terrible road rage. The other day, a bird pooped on my windshield and I followed him back to his nest and shit in it. Not a good look. Not a good look. Well, I think that's my time. I'm Chip from DC. Thank you guys for listening.
Chad reporting from DC. Thank you, Chad. I hadn't seen you in a hot minute.
I know.
Stick around to the fastest minute as well. We'll enjoy some more of your takes in just a short time.
Sure.
Our next video coming up, Chicago comic, Adam Quaslow.
Right. Praise the Lord. Are people still using the Bible to justify hating gay people? Is that something? Oh, the Bible says it's a sin. The Bible says the same thing about wearing clothing made of 2 different fabrics. If you're wearing a wool cotton blend right now, I hope you like brimstone, honey. It also says the same thing about mixing animal breeds together. A Labradoodle is a sin puppy. Nobody gives a fuck what's in the Bible. I'll prove it. Every woman in this Zoom chat. After your last period, did you wait a week and then bring your priest 2 birds? Because that's in there. And if you haven't done it yet, you are unclean. All right? If we're going to pick and choose, maybe we can throw homophobia in the same pile as menstrual pigeons. All I'm saying. And by the way, men, we're supposed to do the same thing every time we ejaculate. I owe my rabbi a few thousand cum doves at this point. I hate when people say that divorce is sad. Because divorce is beautiful. I know this because I had my parents. Right? Getting a divorce is like getting a tumor removed without anesthetic. Like, it hurts, but it's gonna save your fucking life. All right? If my parents didn't get divorced, I guarantee one of them would have murdered the other. but they did get divorced, so they got to die on their own. My dad was in 2 14-year marriages that ended in divorce, and both of them probably could have been called after 5. My dad was a cat lover. One time I described him playing with a friend of mine's cat, and he had a bigger smile than the time I graduated college. And I had to watch him pretend to give a shit about a dog for 14 years. Do you know how pissed he must have been that it outlived the marriage? Especially because that little fucker was 3 when it started. Like, don't get me wrong, I like dogs, but at some point they are supposed to die. Like, a dog's not supposed to live long enough to earn a master's degree, okay? I feel like, well, my parents got to a point where no matter what happened, they were going to fight. Like, my dad stormed out angrily from my bar mitzvah. My Simpsons-themed bar mitzvah. And he took the cardboard cutout of Homer with him. I got to see a grown man pissed off carrying Homer Simpson. It was like Child Protective Services found out about all the times he strangled Bart. Like, I feel like if you're an adult and your parents are still together, you should have to go to war. It's not that I think you'd be a better soldier. We just don't need you, okay? Like, you haven't had enough conflict in your life. Like, if you have never thought that you were the reason your parents were fighting, you are the reason a customer service rep quit. Like, you may be capable of self-love, but you are also capable of screaming at a cashier because your coupon expired. That's why I don't make fun of people who, like, get mad and punch holes in walls. I think if you punch a hole in a wall, I respect you more, because that means you waited until you got home to take that anger out. Like, I kicked a hole in a wall one time when I was in high school. You know what I didn't do? Kick a hole in my math teacher. The math teacher called me a shithead in front of the whole class, but the wall did not have a baby at home. I did the right thing, okay? I kicked a hole in the wall, and because of that, a child grew up knowing her father. You're welcome.
Adam Quaslow, praise the Lord. Thank you, Adam. Good.
Yeah.
We're going to keep rolling, guys. We got a few more comics in the Fast Minute Comic, but in the meantime, please welcome to the virtual spotlight, Pat Griffin.
Yeah.
Is that what? That is working. Okay,
I hear you
good.
now.
I don't know about you, but I'm hearing news. There's fake news. There's real news. And all of it is coming at you 24/7. And quite frankly, I think it's toxic. All of it. I don't feel good. I actually, though, I just turned 79 and a half.
Wow.
And the way things are going, I'll be 85 by Easter. But it's my kids don't want me to drive. They strap me in the back seat, facing backwards. They call it reverse parenting. But actually, I did have an accident. Well, Bambi killed my Volvo. That's what happened. But I don't want to talk about it anymore. I want to talk about COVID, because COVID, we are here. My sister's sleeping. You can hear her snort. My sister's here enjoying it. I hope. Anyway, we're here, and my son he's watching over us. He's come to take care of us. And well, we snuck out one morning and we went to Costco. And well, we did everything right. We wore our gloves. We had masks on. My sister, we had homemade masks too. My sister cut hers out of a pillowcase, and I found my husband's old Speedo, and it worked perfect. So we go and we park in the disabled parking. And when we walked all 2.5 miles around the building to the end of the line, where this guy with a bullhorn's yelling, "Spread 'em, seniors." So, well, we tried to spread them. Anyway, fortunately, the cart doubles as a walker. We get inside, we make a beeline for the back of the store where they have 3 armed guards handing out these huge wrappers of toilet paper. And my sister runs to the bay. I said, no, we gotta get out of here. The under 60 hordes are arriving. So we make it out of the store. We paid for it. We got out. And then we decided to go to the bank. So we wore our gloves, we wore our masks, we marched into the bank. It's not our fault. They just threw the money at us where they fell on the floor. They just threw it at us. So we get home, we did everything right. We washed our hands and we laundered the money. And now my son is homeschooling us in poker. Did you know that 3 and 2 makes a full house? And a full house beats a straight or a flush. But a flush is no good without toilet paper. And I would just like to recommend a little prophylactic for your next COVID problems. You can protect yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat Griffin. Pat, it sounds like you put one of those little COVID things over your sister as she's trying to sleep. Sounds like she's trying to breathe through that right now. Sorry, I don't know what that was awesome sounding. I thought it was a dog. I'm glad you addressed it. I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep going. We got 3 comments in the fastest minute. Please welcome Leslie Smith.
Hey there. You know, my mom has a dog. It's not a dog. She calls it a dog, but it's not a dog. It's a pug. And pugs are not dogs. I'm not sure what they are, but they're not dogs. They're not dogs. Because dogs have faces. Pugs do not have faces. They look like they've been hit in the face with a cartoon frying pan, but they do not have faces. Its face is one giant neck flap with eyes. It's like someone cut out a paper mask of a bulldog and stapled it to a loaf of bread. And it's not even good bread, raisin bread. And they have these big, creepy looking eyes that kind of roll around on their own, like Cookie Monster eyes. Pugs are the only land mammals that can lick their own eyeballs. It's true. I saw it on Animal Planet. So pugs are raisin bread loaves with bulldog masks and Cookie Monster eyes. Basically, pugs look like a picture of a dog made by a child who's never seen a dog. Have you ever seen a pug bark? No, you haven't. Trick question. Pugs can't bark. They cough. They cough like they've had a 3-pack-a-day habit for the past 20 years. It's the cough of a coal miner on the day of his retirement. There is exactly one good thing about pugs. They're the perfect size and shape to kick through the uprights. My mom treats that pug better than she ever treated me growing up. She never scratched my ears or called me a good boy. She never let me put a bed in the backseat of the car. And if it poops on the floor, she cleans it up. If I poop on the floor one time, what really bothers me is that when I did it, I was the same age as the dog. The dog was 3, I was 21. If you can't tell by now, the pug and I are not on speaking terms. And I will donate the rest of my time back to the crowd. Thank you very much.
Yeah, back to the crowd. The horde, we're taking over. We're creating comedy tonight. We're seizing comedy back. It was stolen from us because of COVID, and now we're stealing it back by doing this. Our next meeting coming up. Hey, where are you today? Where are you today, Josh? Where are you? Where are you setting up shop?
He's in Atlanta. I'm in my new adopted hometown of Atlanta.
Yay! From Atlanta.
Yeah,
Josh
woo.
Donato.
Woo! Yeah. Yep. Just finished chowing down some hush puppies.
There you go.
You know, for the longest time, I kind of had this dream that one day I would have more Twitter followers than Donald Trump.
And
And now I do.
Dreams come true.
Yeah, a lot of people dying. You know, you kind of think about what you're going to end up doing, what you're doing with your life. A lot of people talk about what's on their bucket list, you know, and I guess this is a good forum to open up about that. I'll tell you what's on my bucket list. My bucket list is just a list of buckets that I want to acquire. I collect buckets. I'm pretty into buckets. So they're just cool, you know, they're just, you know, cool, convenient. They're good for storage. You can stack them if you're not using them. And, you know, if you get lazy, you can shit in a bucket, keep it by your bed. Yeah, I'm just into buckets. I like to hang out at, pre-pandemic. I would often go hang out at Bucket Center, you know, go there. They come out with the new buckets on Wednesdays. They have a bucket walk of fame, you know, like a lot of famous people, you know, do the concrete thing, right? And you can bring your bucket, you know, and just kind of put it in the impression and be like, oh, I have the same size bucket as Andy McDowell. That's cool. Okay. You know, there's a phrase I've heard a lot of people say over the years, and it's not really, it doesn't tend to be questioned. It's not like they're making an argument. It's like, it's a statement they make at the beginning of another bunch of things that they say. And that is, well, you know, America is the greatest country in the world. And then they go on and say other stuff. And, you know, I don't really want to address whether or not that's true. I'm from America. I like America pretty good. It's maybe my favorite country, but I feel like making a statement that America is the greatest country in the world, or that any country is the greatest country in the world, kind of skips past the idea that maybe countries weren't that great of an idea in the first place. You know, it's kind of like, if you say Air Bud 2 Golden Receiver is the best of the Air Bud movies. It's like, well, okay, yeah, that might be true, but wouldn't the world be a better place if there were no Air Bud movies? And that's kind of how I'm feeling about countries lately. Not a lot of people making the America is the greatest country in the world statement this week. All right. Good evening to y'all. I'm from Atlanta, you see.
Thank you, anarchist Josh D. Donato. No more countries. No, I like that. I think that let's do something. Let's have guilds or something. We could just like unify among our trades, and that's how we'll do this. That's how we'll settle.
Little known fact, we need to thank Josh because apparently he said that he wouldn't move to Atlanta unless Georgia turned blue. So that's apparently how this happened. So,
I think Josh, you moved before it turned blue. Anyways, you were in it no matter what. You were pulling it off.
Technically, I pulled into Georgia, and then a few hours later, they called the election. So I mean, that
what a coincidence, right? They just had like 80,000 votes right after Josh shows up. I don't know how that
wasn't
happened.
a coincidence. It was planned. I
don't know how that happened. Our next meeting coming up, last meeting of the night, then the Fast Minute Comedy, Chris and A. Smith.
Hey, give it up for Mark for hosting this, or not. You don't have to clap for him, I guess. I can't make you like Mark. I mean, I get it. I did this mic last week for the first time in months, and there hadn't been a coup. Then I do this mic, and all of a sudden, I'm gonna blame this. I think you got to shoulder part of the blame, Mark. I'm not saying you're the whole thing, but I do think some of this falls at your feet. All right. What I want to talk about. I had a COVID scare recently. yeah, I had a couple COVID symptoms. I had shortness of breath, and I had upper body soreness, and I had to quarantine from everybody in my life in order to like see if I had COVID, like get tested and stuff. And good news, luckily I don't have COVID. I didn't have it. I tested negative. I guess I'm just dying of nothing. That's the news that I found out. A lot of people need a disease to die. Not me, baby. I can just die for the love of the game. I think that's important. But like the whole time that I was worried about myself, that I didn't know how this was going to break down. I remember I kept thinking about all the people that I see on the news who refuse to wear a mask. We see them all the time. These people who say, I'm not going to wear a mask because I want freedom. I got to be free. And this mask restricts me. I need my freedom. And I think it's interesting that the people who most need freedom live in Wisconsin. Like, does that sound like those sentences don't even make sense to me? Like, how, like you're free to die in a trailer park, gasping for air. Like that's the choice you've made. Like that's what you wanted to do. Like you're living in Kalamazoo, Michigan, because it's your right. Like it's not, like no one's stopping you. You can very easily, like you're not exercising your freedom. No one's standing in the way of you living in Wisconsin. That's not a thing that's happening at all. Your ancestors didn't die for the right to die in Wisconsin. Like that's not. That's incredible. Dying in Wisconsin is a civil right, I guess. I didn't realize that. It's gay marriage, Black people surviving, and then living in Wisconsin. Those are the three big things we gotta get off before we move on to anything else. Another thing I've been thinking about. I've been a big fan of the QAnon conspiracy theories. For anybody who doesn't know, QAnon is a group of people who believe this idea that there's an elite group of pedophiles all around Hollywood. I think it's very interesting that the people who believe in that elite pedophile ring also go to church. Because if you're looking for an elite pedophile ring, have you tried the church? I think that's a good place to start. I hate to tell you, the call's coming from inside the house. Like I don't know what to tell you. It was right there the whole time, Scooby-Doo. What else? I watched the show Lovecraft Country. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that. Lovecraft Country is this fun show. It's on HBO. It's a horror show, so it's meant to be scary, and it's a horror show starring Black people, which is kind of a new thing. Like that. That's a weird twist for the genre. And when you see a horror show with Black protagonists, it kind of teaches you just how dumb the idea of a lot of horror movies are. That idea that Black people have to die first, that doesn't really make any sense if you truly think about if Black people lived in those worlds. Like if you really thought about it, like if the rules of a horror movie were true, and like there was like something that indiscriminately killed people, maybe killed Black people, maybe didn't, maybe killed white people, maybe didn't. Like Black people wouldn't necessarily die first, Like if you told me, hey Tristan, you can either stay in this house with a malevolent spirit that murders people, or you can try your hand with the U.S. government. I think I'm gonna choose that murder house every time, because like the spirit may murder me, but it could also get along with me. Like I don't know. Like I've tried the police. I've never had any good interactions. The murder ghost might be cool. Like at least I'm gonna hear him out at the very least. I don't know. That's it for me. Give it up for Mark for hosting.
Yeah, thank you, Tristan A. Smith, and please give it up for me because we are gonna start one of the most exciting times of the night. This is really great. I'm so pumped to do this. I'm gonna go through the list, and if you're still here, I'm gonna highlight you, and then you get to go up one more time, which is really a blast. You get 1 minute. I don't give you any warning. I just move on to the next comedian, and then I'll mute you if I have to, if you don't stop talking. We'll figure it out. Our first comedian of the night went up way earlier. She's here. Stephanie Levy, go.
Yeah, go.
I want to do things to John Ossoff that will make him resign from the Senate. Seriously, John Ossoff looks like every boy I ever had a crush on at Jewish summer camp, and now that we're all adults, I want him to recreate my wet hot American summer. If we gain more seats in the Senate in 2022, or like get a filibuster-proof majority, I will quit my job and fully dedicate myself to having a threesome with him and his wife. The way I see it is, it's a nice Jewish boy and a nice Jewish girl. It's a senator and a doctor. Like, I think my parents would actually be proud. That wasn't so much a joke. That was just something that I needed to get off my chest and wrote.
Sorry about that. I went early. Go. Didn't mean to go. Sorry about that.
Hey, no problem. Hey, look, man, lately my comedy well's been pretty dry, and everything is just a hot button topic, and I don't want to mess with any of it. So I was thinking I'm going to start a podcast of me doing 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzles, and I'd have some commentary, and I'd yell at a cat every once in a while who likes to knock all the pieces on the floor. Anyway, I'm going to give you a quick preview for about 15 seconds. Keep in mind, you won't be able to see me, so that part's out too. That piece doesn't. Oh. Ooh, that piece fits. Tap, tap. Every time you get a jigsaw puzzle piece, you tap it twice. All right, that's it for me. Thanks a lot. Tune in later.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Daniel.
go,
Gio Wagner
go.
is not on camera, so I have to skip. He'll start it later. It just told me he'll start it later. So we're going to Ian Ryland Smith.
Go.
There we go. So I know many of you all know me as a ladies' man, the best ladies' man. And I got a letter from one of my followers. He was like, "Hey, Ian, great advice. It worked for me. I went to a bar. I got with a woman. We went to her place and we had sex. And right afterwards, I said, thank you. And she really didn't like that. What are you supposed to say after sex?" And I replied, "Don't say anything." That's the answer. Don't say anything. You just pass out. That's all you got to do as a guy. Bliss. Music to the ears. No sound.
Andre Madrano, go.
I used to live with a French drug dealer who had come to America when he was like 7 or 8. So by the time he was my roommate, he spoke fluent English, but we all pretended he didn't. Like he would say stuff like, "Do you guys want to get pizza?" And we'd be like, je peux pas. And be like, "I know you know what I'm saying. Do you want to get pizza? I'll pay for it." Like in that voice. He'd be like, "Comment dit le Google Translate?" And he was a good sport about it. He's very generous, but he's also very self-conscious. And one time we were making fun of him for being a criminal, and he was like, "I'm not a fucking drug dealer. Everyone I know loves to party, so I buy more drugs than I'm going to use, and I sell what's left over for more than I paid, and then I keep the money." Like, oh, maybe you don't speak English because that's the definition of a drug dealer. That's exactly what you're doing. Thanks, guys.
Nice.
Gio Wagner, you're off. Bump back up the list.
Yeah, you know, the Proud Boys were so happy they had this tactic that they were going to infiltrate the Antifa, going to dress in all black and infiltrate them so they would have no idea. Well, A, as soon as one of them opened their mouth, they would have probably figured it out. But B, you just fucking told them you were going to do that. Earlier, someone was talking about how masturbation, circumcision was a form of trying to stop people from masturbating. That was actually Kellogg of Kellogg's Foods was the one behind that. He felt that it desensitized it and you would masturbate less. I can attest that he is completely wrong. Or if he is right, then I'd never leave the house. One of the two. Can't figure that. That's my time, so I'll let you guys go.
Yeah, I got
Go.
Oh, it's Ying Vigilin. Go.
Yeah, hello everyone. Hi, I have a 17-year-old son at home. So a few years ago when he started high school, I have so many hope and dreams for him. Exciting high school. It turns out one day he came home, he started calling me bruh. And I'm like, "What's up, bruh?" So now our daily routine is, "Good morning, bruh. Can I borrow $20, bruh? So, can I use your car, bruh?" And the only time he called me mom is it's like, "Is the dinner ready yet, mom? What's for dinner, mom?" So I'll be like, "I don't know, bruh. Why don't you cook yourself, bruh?" So sometimes like when I ask him to do something, he was like, "Seriously, bruh?" So now bruh become bruh, So one time I fell on the floor, right? I really need him help. I was thinking, should I call his name or just say, "Bruh," get close to him, right? Like, "I need your help, bruh." And my son heard it in his room and he said, "Sorry, bruh. I didn't take first aid class. Can't help you, bruh." So
Jim Jones.
thanks.
Everybody, thank you. Go, go, go,
Go. I've been married 29 years, so that means I'm watching a lot of porn. And the hot porn now is this amateur stuff, people making their own movies. If you search long enough, you're going to see somebody doing porn. For me, it was my next door neighbor. It was kind of awkward because he was with my wife. So, hey, it's okay. I came, but it was bittersweet. It was bittersweet. All right, that's my time. Bye.
I am Quazo.
All right. After my mom died, I was cleaning out her place and got too emotional. I just had to get out of there. So I went for a walk and ended up at a bookstore because this story takes place in 2008. And there was an author there doing a book signing, and I'd never heard of her because I was 17 and didn't read for fun. So the only authors I knew by name were Stephen King and the Twilight Lady. And I asked her what kind of books she wrote, and she said Irish fantasy romance novels. And I had no idea you could put those words together like that. But that was when I knew I was going to be okay because leprechauns fuck. There's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and that gold is soaked in cum.
Hey, Griffin. Go, 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 go.
Oh,
Go.
My sweetie and I are the proud parents of some old people who knew they'd live, but they're gone now, and we're just planning some trips. We're planning trips to the cardiologist, the ophthalmologist, and for our bones, the paleontologist. Kaiser is our travel agent. Where else can you get a room for an hour with a little bed with stirrups? That's it.
Yeah, Tristan A. Smith, go, go, go.
White people feel so safe they listen to true crime podcasts.
Yeah.
You know how sheltered you got to be to cosplay as a victim? like I listen to true crime podcasts because I want to see how my friends are doing. Now, if you're woke, you think my friends are the victims. If you're racist, you think my friends are the perpetrators. In reality, my friends are just podcast producers. Alrighty, that's just it. Give it up for, I don't know, it's over. We're done, finally.
Finally, we're done. I think I may have, why is it not highlighting me? What's going on here? Was Wesley Smith here? I don't know if I skipped somebody or he might have just bailed as soon as I skipped him.
He bailed, yeah.
I totally skipped him and he bailed. I feel bad. Sorry, Wesley Smith. Come back and do a minute. You get 2 minutes next week. You stick around. Otherwise, thank you all for coming out.
Yeah, thank you.